Picture this with me. It's early morning. The first rays of sunlight are peeking through the curtains. You set the kettle on the stove. That familiar aroma of fresh coffee begins to drift through your kitchen, the same comforting smell that's been part of your mornings for decades. And with that very first sip, you feel more awake, warmer inside, almost as if the day ahead is already going to be complete. But what if I told you that same cup of coffee could be quietly wearing down your heart, your brain, and even your memory? A study published in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology in 2020 sent shockwaves through the medical community. Just one type of coffee, if consumed daily, can raise LDL, the bad cholesterol, by as much as 45 mg/dl in only 4 weeks in people over 60. Now, that number might sound harmless at first, but in medicine, a 45-point rise in LDL at this age means your arteries are hardening much faster, your risk of stroke is climbing sharply, and your memory could noticeably decline within just a few short years. What's even more alarming, this very coffee is still sitting on store shelves today, marketed as heart healthy, while millions of people over 60 drink it every single day, completely unaware they're putting a ticking time bomb inside their bodies. So, let me ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly. Is your morning coffee nourishing you or quietly harming your health? Join me, a doctor with over 30 years of experience in nutrition and cardiovascular health, as we uncover the 5 most dangerous coffees older adults should avoid at all costs, and the 5 healthiest choices that can turn your morning cup into a daily prescription for protecting your heart, brain, joints, and adding years to your life. And trust me, you'll be surprised when you find out the worst coffee of all is the one most people believe is the most natural and pure. Do you know what's truly the most dangerous? It's not the things we know are bad for us. It's the things we think are harmless, maybe even healthy, but are quietly harming us every single day. And coming in at number 5 on my list of dangerous coffees for people over 60 is flavored instant coffee mixes, those tempting vanilla, hazelnut, or caramel coffees you can grab at just about any grocery store. At first glance, they seem perfectly fine. Convenient, tasty, pleasantly aromatic. The packaging might even boast low sugar, added vitamins, or heart healthy. But the truth is hidden in the tiny print almost no one reads the ingredients list. Inside those flavorful packets, you'll often find propylene glycol, a solvent that helps artificial flavors dissolve evenly. Sounds harmless, right? But in reality, it's a petroleum byproduct, and in people over 60, when kidney function is already about 20–30% slower than it was in youth, this compound can build up over time, putting a toxic strain on both your kidneys and your liver. And that's not all. These mixes often hide trans fats under innocent-sounding names like hydrogenated palm oil. Trans fats are one of the heart's worst enemies. In fact, just 2% of your daily calories coming from trans fats can raise your risk of heart disease by up to 23%, Mazafarian et al. New England Journal of Medicine, 2006. They push LDL bad cholesterol up, drag HDL good cholesterol down, and accelerate plaque buildup in your arteries. Even more concerning, a study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2022, followed over 3,000 adults over 60 and found that those who drank flavored instant coffee daily had a 39% higher risk of insulin resistance, a direct pathway to type 2 diabetes. I'll never forget one of my patients, Barbara, 64, from Texas. She didn't smoke. She ate fairly well. But for over 10 years, she started every morning with 2-3 packets of vanilla-flavored instant coffee. Her recent blood work showed a fasting blood sugar of 128 mg/dl, LDL cholesterol at 168 mg/dl, and mildly reduced kidney function. When I dug into her habits, the culprit was clear: the very coffee she loved so much. We switched her to plain, pure coffee, adding natural flavor from cinnamon and a drop of pure vanilla extract instead. In just 3 months, her fasting blood sugar dropped back into the pre-diabetic range. Her LDL came down by more than 20 points, and she told me she felt more energetic than she had in years. The takeaway: don't let a pleasant aroma or attractive packaging fool you. After 60, even the small chemical additives in your morning coffee can become a big burden on your heart, kidneys, and blood sugar. If flavored instant coffee is the sweet trap, then this next one is the hidden enemy quietly sitting in your cup, the one most people don't think twice about. I'm talking about coffee with artificial non-dairy creamers. I can't tell you how many patients have said to me, "Doc, I just can't drink my coffee black, so I add a little powdered creamer." That little bit can't hurt, right? But here's the truth: that little bit is more than enough to chip away at your body's defenses. Most artificial creamers come with a laundry list of ingredients: titanium dioxide, hydrogenated vegetable oils, corn syrup solids, maltodextrin. Titanium dioxide sounds clean because it gives that nice, milky white look, but it's also used in paint and cosmetics. A study in the Journal of Toxicological Sciences, 2021, found that titanium dioxide can cause oxidative stress inside human cells, damaging DNA after just 4 weeks of continuous exposure. Hydrogenated oils: these are a hidden source of trans fats, the same unhealthy fats Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health warned about back in 2006, saying they can raise your risk of heart disease by up to 23%, even in small amounts. Corn syrup solids and maltodextrin: highly processed sugars that can spike your blood sugar in just 15-20 minutes, leading to fatigue and that dreaded brain fog shortly after. Once you pass 60, your blood vessels lose some of their flexibility. Your liver processes fats less efficiently. Your brain cells are more vulnerable to inflammation and oxidative stress. And each spoonful of powdered creamer is basically a combo pack of all the things that speed up aging: chronic inflammation, higher LDL cholesterol, blood sugar spikes, and disruption of the healthy bacteria in your gut. A study in Aging Cell 2021 found that older adults with unusually high omega-6 levels, like those from hydrogenated oils, scored 31% lower on memory tests. Why? Too much omega-6 throws off the balance with omega-3, increasing inflammation in brain tissue. If you like your coffee creamy, try organic whole milk rich in vitamin K2, which supports heart health; unsweetened almond or oat milk fortified with calcium; or learn to enjoy black coffee with just a pinch of pink Himalayan salt to smooth out the bitterness. At this age, Every single thing you add to your morning coffee can either be a dose of health or another brick in the wall of artery-clogging plaque. Choose wisely. Many people believe decaf means safe. No caffeine, right arrow, no racing heart, no sleepless nights, stable blood pressure. But here's what most don't realize. In some cases, the price you pay for decaf can actually be more dangerous than the caffeine itself. The truth nobody talks about. Most cheap decaf coffees on supermarket shelves in the U.S. are processed with methylene chloride, an industrial solvent also used in paint removers, paint thinners, and metal cleaners. The coffee industry often reassures customers that all of it evaporates during roasting. But a 2021 study from Stanford University found that some popular brands still contained up to 10 parts per million ppm of methylene chloride, just below the FDA's legal limit. You might think, well, 10 ppm doesn't sound like much. The problem is, safe on paper doesn't always mean safe for a body over 60, especially when your liver, kidneys, and blood-brain barrier are already working slower than they used to. How it harms the body. Brain. Methylene chloride can cross the blood-brain barrier, disrupting the mitochondria, the power plants of your brain cells, reducing energy production, leading to brain fog, poor focus, and memory problems. Liver and kidneys. These organs have to break down and flush out the solvent. In older adults, detox is slower, which means toxins can linger and accumulate. Cancer risk. The EPA classifies methylene chloride as a probable human carcinogen, a chemical likely to cause cancer with long-term exposure. In fact, a 2022 study in the Journal of Environmental Toxicology found that even low-dose exposure in animals caused liver inflammation and kidney tube damage in just 14 days. A safer way to enjoy decaf. Look for Swiss water process or methylene chloride free on the label. Choose organic coffee to avoid pesticide residues. If possible, mix clean decaf with a light roast Arabica to reduce reliance on chemical processed decaf. At 60 and beyond, every sip of coffee should give you clean energy, not hidden chemicals your liver, kidneys, and brain have to fight to remove. Decaf can be good for you, but only if it's truly clean. You might be surprised. One of the most pure and beloved ways to drink coffee, the one with that rich aroma and smooth, velvety body, can actually be the hardest on your heart. I'm talking about unfiltered coffee like French press, Turkish coffee, or the old Scandinavian boil method. And I know what some of you are thinking. Doctor, I drink it this way because it's pure, no chemicals, no additives. That sounds reasonable, but pure doesn't always mean safe, especially for a heart that's been beating faithfully for 60+ years. Coffee naturally contains a compound called cafestol, found mostly in its oils. When you brew with a paper filter, most of that cafestol gets trapped. But with French press or boiling methods, nearly all the cafestol goes straight into your cup and then into your bloodstream. A 2020 study in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found people who drank unfiltered coffee daily had a 30% higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who used paper-filtered coffee. Their LDL, bad cholesterol, shot up by an average of 45 mg/dl in just 4 weeks. That's a huge jump, especially for folks over 60. Why? Cafestol signals the liver to produce more LDL, speeding up plaque buildup in the arteries, making them narrower and less flexible. It's not just about the heart, stomach. The acids and oils in unfiltered coffee can irritate your stomach lining, making acid reflux or ulcers worse. Heavy metals. Some traditional coffee pots made of aluminum or uncoated metals can leach small amounts into the coffee during boiling, and aging kidneys may struggle to filter them out. A safer way to enjoy that flavor: use a paper filter. You can even tuck a thin paper disc inside your French press before pressing. Alternate. Make filtered coffee most days and enjoy unfiltered just once or twice a week. Choose safe equipment. Avoid bare aluminum. Go for stainless steel or heat-resistant glass. After 60, your heart doesn't have as much reserve to handle the extra burden of high LDL. Sometimes the smallest tweak, like adding a paper filter, can be a safety valve that keeps your heart strong for the next 10-20 years. I can't tell you how many times I've heard this. Doctor, I only have a caramel cappuccino or an iced mocha a few times a week. It's just a sweet treat. Surely that's not a big deal. And yet, this is exactly the mistake that's quietly pushing the blood sugar and heart health of millions of Americans over 60 toward dangerous territory. A grand caramel latte from a popular coffee chain can pack 8-12 teaspoons of sugar, about the entire daily limit the American Heart Association recommends. And that's not even counting the flavored syrups loaded with high fructose sugar and preservatives. A 2019 study in Jame Internal Medicine, which followed over 25,000 adults, found those who got more than 20% of their daily calories from added sugars had a 38% higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who stayed under 10%. Why it hits hard after 60? Blood sugar spikes. Simple sugars from syrups cause glucose to surge, forcing the pancreas to pump out insulin. Over time, this can lead to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Liver strain. High fructose is processed in the liver, turning into fat deposits, raising triglycerides and fueling artery-clogging plaque. Chronic inflammation. Sugar triggers C-reactive protein CRP and inflammatory cytokines, worsening joint pain, heart issues, and even memory decline. Linda, 62, from California, never smoked and practiced yoga regularly, but she loved her iced mocha every single morning. At her checkup, her numbers told a story. HbA1c 3-month blood sugar average 6, 5% right arrow diabetic range, triglycerides 240 mg/dl. Waistline up 3 inches in 2 years. Linda was shocked when I told her that her harmless mocha was the real culprit. I suggested she switch to black coffee with Ceylon cinnamon and a splash of unsweetened almond milk. 4 months later, HbA1c dropped to 8%. Triglycerides fell to 180 mg/dl. Waistline shrank by 2 inches, she told me. I never imagined cutting sugar from my coffee could change my health this quickly. A safer way to enjoy your coffee. Cut syrup gradually. If quitting all at once feels hard, ask for half syrup at the coffee shop. Make your own flavor. Use cinnamon, unsweetened cocoa powder, or real vanilla extract. Choose unsweetened milk. Almond or oat milk without added sugar is a great swap. Brew at home. This gives you full control over how much sugar goes in. As you've seen, it's not just dirty coffee or chemical-laden brews that can hurt you. It's how we prepare our coffee and what we add to it that can make the difference between long-term health and slow decline. After 60, every ingredient in your morning cup should be treated as either a dose of medicine or a dose of poison for your heart, brain, and blood sugar. If you've just listened to the 5 harmful types of coffee and felt a little worried, take a deep breath, because coffee is not the enemy of good health. In fact, when you choose the right kind, it can become one of your body's best friends, supporting your heart, your brain, your joints, and even your memory well into your 60s and beyond. After working with thousands of older patients over the years, I've learned something important. You don't have to give up coffee to get healthier. What matters is changing the type of coffee you drink and how you brew it. Large-scale medical research, like the Nutrients Journal study in 2021, has shown that choosing the right coffee and brewing it properly can lower the risk of type 2 diabetes by up to 27%. It can reduce whole body inflammation by nearly 20%, and it may even help maintain muscle strength between the ages of 60 and 80. What does that mean for you? It's simple. You can still start every morning with that wonderful aroma you love, only now, instead of placing a ticking time bomb in your body, you're giving yourself a daily dose of longevity protection. So, what are the 5 types of coffee that truly deserve to be called your golden friends for health after 60? Let's explore them together, starting with number 5. It's simple, it's time-tested, and it's considered by top nutritionists and cardiologists as the golden foundation for lifelong health. You know, sometimes the best solution is the simplest one. No fancy recipes, no exotic, hard-to-find ingredients, just the right beans, roasted the right way, and suddenly your morning cup becomes a daily medicine for your heart and your brain. Why is organic Arabica the golden foundation for good health? Arabica beans naturally contain much higher levels of chlorogenic acid than Robusta beans, and chlorogenic acid is a powerful antioxidant that reduces chronic inflammation in your blood vessels, joints, and brain, improves glucose metabolism, helping to keep your blood sugar more stable. In fact, a study published in Nutrients 2021 found that adults over 60 who drank 2 cups of Arabica coffee a day had a 27% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. They also had 19% lower inflammation markers compared to those who didn't drink coffee. The benefit of a medium roast. Many people think dark roast is better, but here's the truth. Dark roast significantly reduces chlorogenic acid and increases burnt compounds that can irritate the stomach. Light roast keeps more acidity, which can be harsh for those with sensitive digestion. Medium roast is that perfect middle ground, retains most of its antioxidants, has lower acidity, a smoother taste, and a fuller aroma. Why organic matters? Coffee is one of the most pesticide-sprayed crops in the world, and after 60, our detox systems, liver and kidneys, don't clear toxins as quickly. Over time, pesticide residues can build up and strain these organs, as well as the nervous system. Certified organic coffee is grown without harmful pesticides, which means less toxic load for your body. Safe brewing tips. Choose organic Arabica beans, medium roast. Avoid pre-ground coffee that's been sitting on a shelf. Use clean, filtered water. Avoid tap water with chlorine or heavy metals. Brew using pour-over or drip with a paper filter to remove most caffeine, which can raise LDL cholesterol. Skip the sugar, or add Ceylon cinnamon or pure cacao for flavor and blood sugar support. Avoid drinking after 2 p.m. to protect your sleep. If you're looking for a coffee that's safe, delicious, and loaded with health benefits, organic medium roast Arabica is the perfect starting point. It's like laying a strong foundation for your home. Once it's there, you can build on it with all the upgrades I'll share in the next healthy coffee choices. You know, there's something I hear often from my patients over 60. Doctor, I'd love to keep drinking coffee, it keeps me alert, but my stomach just can't handle it. Every time I try, I get bloating and burning. If that sounds familiar, then cold brew coffee might just be the gentle, flavorful solution you've been searching for. Why cold brew works so well for seniors? Unlike traditional hot brewing, cold brew is made by steeping coffee grounds in cold or room temperature water for 12 to 24 hours. This simple change in method creates some big advantages, especially for older adults. Up to 60–70% less acid. Cold brew is much gentler on your stomach lining and far less likely to trigger heartburn or acid reflux. In a 2020 Mount Sinai study of 400 GERD patients, 89% were able to drink cold brew without discomfort. More antioxidants preserved. The slow, cool extraction helps protect chlorogenic acids and melanoidins, compounds known to support heart health and reduce inflammation. Naturally smoother, less bitter taste. Cold brew has a naturally sweet, mellow flavor that makes it easier to give up added sugar or syrups. Higher magnesium content. Cold brew can contain up to 250% more magnesium than hot coffee, a key mineral for steady heart rhythms, strong bones, and healthy muscles. How to make cold brew concentrate. You'll need 1 cup, about 85–90 g medium roast Arabica beans coarsely ground, 4 cups 950 ml clean filtered cold water. Steps. Place the grounds in a glass jar or French press. Add the cold water and stir gently. Cover and let steep in the fridge or at room temperature for 12–24 hours. Strain through a paper filter or fine cloth. Store in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. Serving. Dilute 1 part concentrate with 2–3 parts water or unsweetened almond/oat milk. Add Ceylon cinnamon or pure cacao for extra flavor and blood sugar support. Cold brew isn't just a trendy coffee fad, it's a smart, stomach-friendly way for those over 60 to keep enjoying their coffee ritual while protecting digestive comfort, heart health, memory, and joint strength. Most people think coffee is just for waking up, a little jolt to start the day. But what if I told you that with one small change, your morning coffee could actually become a daily dose of nourishment for your joints, bones, muscles, and even your skin? Collagen, your body's structural foundation. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. Think of it as the scaffolding that keeps everything supported. Joints keeps cartilage elastic and reduces wear and tear. Bones add structure and strength. Muscles connects muscles to tendons. Skin maintains elasticity and reduces wrinkles. Here's the challenge. After age 50, we naturally lose about 1.5% of our collagen every year. By the time you reach 60, that loss can be significant, leading to achy, stiff joints, muscle loss and reduced strength, wrinkled, thinner, less elastic skin. Why collagen and coffee make a perfect pair. Collagen peptides, hydrolyzed collagen, dissolve completely in hot liquids, are flavorless and won't change the taste of your coffee. Hot coffee boosts circulation, helping amino acids from collagen reach the tissues that need repair more quickly. The key amino acids in collagen, glycine, helps reduce joint inflammation and supports restful sleep. Proline aids in cartilage and tendon repair. Hydroxyproline supports bone strength and density. A 2020 Journal of Clinical Nutrition study followed 120 adults aged 60-75. Daily supplementation of 10 g collagen peptides for 6 months resulted in 40% increase in joint flexibility, 25% reduction in muscle pain, noticeable improvement in hip bone density. Robert, 70, from Colorado, has always loved hiking, but in recent years his knees would swell and ache after every trip. When we met, he told me, "Doc, I don't want to give up the mountains. Is there anything I can do to keep my knees strong?" I suggested adding just 1 scoop of collagen peptides to his morning coffee. 3 months later, Robert returned, smiling from ear to ear. "I just finished an 8-mile hike and my knees feel great. My wife even says my skin looks healthier." How to use it safely. Choose the right collagen. Look for grass-fed bovine or wild-caught marine collagen with certifications for no heavy metals or contaminants. Dosage: about 10 g per day, 1 level scoop. How to prepare. Brew your coffee black or with unsweetened milk. Add collagen and stir until fully dissolved. When to drink. In the morning or before light exercise to maximize joint and muscle recovery. Combining collagen with coffee is one of the simplest, most enjoyable ways to protect your mobility and keep your body strong as you age. Every cup isn't just a treat. It's an investment in your ability to move freely and live fully after 60. Have you ever woken up, poured your morning coffee, and still felt that mental fog? Maybe you try to recall an old friend's name, and it takes you a few long, frustrating minutes. If you're over 60, this isn't always just aging. It can be your brain quietly running low on fuel. One of the simplest ways to give your brain and your heart a clean, steady source of energy is by adding MCT oil and Ceylon cinnamon to your morning cup. MCT oil, quick energy for your brain. MCT, or medium-chain triglycerides, are special fats usually extracted from coconut or palm kernel oil. Unlike most fats, MCTs skip the long digestion process. They're absorbed straight into your bloodstream, sent to your liver, and quickly turned into ketones, an alternative fuel your brain can use when glucose isn't doing the job well. After age 60, the brain's ability to use glucose drops by as much as 20-25%, Cunane et al. Aging Research Reviews, 2020. Ketones from MCT oil bypass that slow down and feed your brain directly. In fact, a 2021 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults who took MCT oil twice a day for 8 weeks improved working memory by 31% and information processing speed by 28%. Ceylon cinnamon, a gentle friend to your heart and blood sugar. Most cinnamon you see in stores is cassia cinnamon, cheap, but high in coumarin, which can harm the liver in large amounts. Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon, is milder, naturally sweet, and rich in cinnamaldehyde, a compound shown to improve insulin sensitivity and help keep blood sugar steady. Relax blood vessels for better circulation. Reduce inflammation in heart and joint tissues. Diabetes Research and Clinical Practice, 2022. How to use it safely. Choose pure MCT oil, no cheap palm oil blends. Start small, 1 teaspoon per day, then work up to 1-2 tablespoons to avoid stomach upset. Choose Ceylon cinnamon. Look for Ceylon or true cinnamon on the label. To make it, brew a cup of medium roast coffee, pour over or drip works well. Add MCT oil and Ceylon cinnamon. Stir vigorously or blend with a small frother for a creamy, latte-like foam. Best time to drink: morning on an empty stomach to maximize ketone production and brain energy. This combination is like a 2-punch boost. MCT oil fuels your brain quickly, while Ceylon cinnamon keeps your blood sugar and blood vessels steady. At 60 and beyond, it's one of the most delicious, effortless ways to protect memory, keep your mind clear, and support a healthy heart. Have you ever wished you could sip a cup of coffee that not only wakes you up but also boosts your immune system and protects your memory? It might sound like science fiction, but combining clean coffee with medicinal mushrooms, especially Reishi and lion's mane, is making that wish a reality. Why Reishi and lion's mane are game changers after 60. Reishi, Ganoderma lucidum, often called the mushroom of longevity in traditional Asian medicine. It's rich in beta-glucans and triterpenes that can activate natural killer, NK cells, your body's frontline defense against viruses, bacteria, and abnormal cells. Reduce chronic inflammation, supporting heart and lung health. Gently help regulate blood pressure, phytotherapy research, 2019. Lion's mane, Hericium erinaceus, famous for its unique compounds, heraisnons and erinacines, that stimulate nerve growth factor, NGF, helping to regenerate damaged nerve fibers, improve memory and focus, reduce mild cognitive impairment symptoms, International Journal of Medicinal Mushrooms, 2020. Coffee gives you an immediate boost of energy. Medicinal mushrooms deliver long-term benefits for your immune and nervous systems. Together, they can kickstart your morning with clarity and alertness, reduce oxidative stress, protecting your brain and heart, strengthen your immune defenses, especially during cold and flu season or sudden weather changes. Michael, 72, from Washington, is a retired history teacher. He loves coffee but was worried about his weakening immune system and slowly fading memory. When I told him about combining coffee with medicinal mushrooms, he started every morning with organic Arabica coffee plus 1 g Reishi powder plus 1 g lion's mane powder. 2 months later, Michael told me, "Doc, I don't catch colds as often, I sleep deeper, and when I read, I remember the content better. Even my wife says I'm more upbeat and lively." Lab results confirmed it. CRP inflammation marker dropped by 22%. Blood pressure improved from 138/84 mmHg to 128/78 mmHg. Safe use guide. Choose quality mushrooms. Look for organic Reishi and lion's mane powder or extracts, certified free from heavy metals and contaminants. Dosage: Reishi 1-1/5 g/day. Lion's mane 1-2 g/day. How to prepare: brew a medium roast coffee, pour over or drip. Stir in the mushroom powders while the coffee is still hot. Add almond milk or a sprinkle of Ceylon cinnamon if you prefer a smoother taste. Best time to drink: morning or early afternoon. Avoid too close to bedtime as coffee may affect sleep. Coffee plus medicinal mushrooms isn't just a drink, it's a daily health strategy. It supports immunity, safeguards your nervous system, and helps you stay sharp. At 60 and beyond, this is a gift you can give yourself every morning for a healthier, more independent, and more vibrant life. You see, coffee isn't the enemy. It can be one of your greatest allies if you choose the right type and brew it the right way. We've just walked together through 5 types of coffee to avoid, to protect your heart, brain, bones, and blood sugar, and 5 types of coffee worth embracing, to turn every morning into an investment in your long-term health. The biggest lesson I want you to take away today is this: good health doesn't come from one big decision in life. It comes from the small choices you make over and over every single day. Every morning cup of coffee, just by making a small change, can be either a brick that builds a longer, healthier life, or a brick in the wall of disease. The choice will always be in your hands. If this video helped you see your coffee habit in a new light and inspired you to make a change, I'd love for you to do something right now. Hit the like button so I know these insights matter to you. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so every morning you'll get the latest safe, science-backed health tips. Share this video with a friend or loved one, someone you believe deserves more years of healthy, joyful living. And I hope you'll visit this channel every day. Make it part of your healthy routine. Because every day I'll have new stories, new research, and practical tips that you and your family can use right away. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Now, raise your coffee cup and raise a toast to your own health. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll uncover even more secrets to living longer, stronger, and happier.